Alright, also don't forget, we talked about it last week, starting June 1st, we're going to be asked to 8 weights, core values, or the non-negotiables. So when you come up, it'll be one of those 3 things that we'll ask you to repeat before you start your pictures, okay? So remember those, alright? The TTY, 3 quiz is going to be at the West Plant, but I'm not 100% sure if they'll come here today. So they're going to be at the West Plant this morning watching some rework, but I'm not sure if they'll come over today. So just be prepared if they do. Okay. Alright, so we talked about communication. Talk about communication and with a meeting as complex as the one and many functional specialists review an entire car. We could imagine days of 10-hour meetings with extensive debate. Most people in the meeting would be laying on their back observing while a few individuals discussed each problem. Toyota would view this as a tremendous waste of resources and probably of limited effectiveness. There are a number of things that support the efficiency and effectiveness of Toyota meetings. 1. The time consciousness of Toyota affects meetings, which generally start on time and end on time. 2. The preparation that goes into the agenda facilitates a smooth flow of the meeting. This starts with a clear purpose for the meeting. 3. Specific roles and responsibilities make it clear for each issue who is responsible and will follow up to make sure the issue is resolved. We saw, for example, that not everyone comes to design review and not everyone stays even the entire 2-hour meeting. 4. Specific roles and responsibilities also support a balance between teamwork and individual responsibility. While the team is working together, there are clear individual assignments and each individual task, each individual takes responsibility for presenting the status of action items and follow up on ideas that come out of the meeting. The complete PDCA cycle is not going to happen in the meeting. In the design review case, only the issues are identified. The actual countermeasures, implementation, checking, and further action take place outside the meeting, and progress is reported in the follow-up meeting. Number 5, much of the 2-way communication takes place outside the meeting. Many Toyota meetings would appear in the outside observer to be rather sterile and mostly one-way communication as individuals report out and perhaps take a few questions and comments from others. There is intense discussion and debate occurring before and after meetings. The process of Narashi is about building and closing agreements and resolving issues that happen best among 2 or 3 people most familiar with an issue. By the time the meeting is held, the most challenging issues are usually already worked out and agreed upon. Number 6, there is a norm of focusing on deviations from the standard. In many meetings, individuals report out on the status of the project using general yellow-red status updates. The green items are not discussed, while the most intense focus is on those behind and or the ones we need help. If all individuals' action items are green, they will generally pass on reporting. 7. There is a norm of stand-up meetings, especially on the plant floor. The information is posted on walls and each individual has a section of the wall, with their data reporting in yellow or red items. Meetings seem to flow more quickly when people are standing up. Also, movement is encouraged from place to place to review information or objects. Gender lighting withdrawals and much of what makes meetings at Toyota is specific roles and responsibilities. It is clear who is responsible for preparation, facilitation, and follow-up for the meeting itself. It is clear who is responsible for reporting on specific projects, who is responsible for follow-up on action items. The expression, if everyone is responsible, no one is responsible, seems to be characterized in thinking of Toyota leaders who decades ago evolved from the norm of clarity, articulated individual roles and responsibilities. Some of us were lucky enough to go through Bob Weir put on a small presentation on how to run a meeting, and that's what Bob talked about. You got to come prepared, make sure responsibilities are filled out. I know some people have talked about it for a long time, but we need to make sure we do take those actions when we meet, and we do report on those actions. We don't have to report on someone, like it says in here, we don't need to give an update. If we're on time or something, that's great, that's what we expect. But what do you need help with? Just like supporting the production floor, we need to support the meetings and stuff like that. Okay?